Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Elegantly Raw Tidbits. So, a client of mine who was and still is extremely wealthy financially, I mean extremely, to the extreme, once said to me, and this was recently, she said it actually, and it just stunned me. She said, there is a price to pay for everything. Got my attention. Coming from her, especially, got my attention. And I've been thinking about this ever since. In a very, really powerful way, it gripped my attention. And because it has my attention, I wanted to share it with you because I think there's so much to be gained from what she said, and I'll tell you my interpretation of this. That anything externally, everything on the outside of us that we attain, that we look for, that we desire, that we have a goal to achieve, there's a price to pay for that. Anything externally. The only time we do not pay a price for anything is the internal. Is when we look internally, when we go internally. So what do I mean by that? Let me give you some concrete examples. If you were addicted to alcohol or other drugs, and now you found out that you're now raw vegan, and you find out, or you're not even raw vegan, but you found out that freshly made, raw apple juice is extremely healing and detoxing to the liver, you might say, well, thank God, finally I can get rid of all this stuff, how I messed myself up and how I messed up my liver. Now I can just go and drink raw apple juice. Yes, you can, but there's a price to be paid. Because what most people won't tell you, but I'm telling you now, is that you will detox. And you will not enjoy the detox. Detox is not easy. Don't think, oh, I'll eat this now and then I'll detox it out later. There's a price to pay for it because the body has rules. And the body likes a disciplined approach. For example, the digestive system prefers that we eat approximately at the same time every day. It's just the way that it functions. The digestive system is very particular about what it will function at a minimum with and what it will function at a maximum with. And when we give it what it wants, it responds in kind, and when we do not, then we have a price to pay. So if you have discovered strawberry guavas like I have, and you're just loving them, and you want to get some, there's a price to pay for them. Either you pay the price financially, monetarily, and you pay for somebody to grow them for you, to plant them, plant the seeds, grow them, and harvest them for you and bring them to a place where you can get them, then that's the price you pay for it. Or you can decide, I'm going to grow it myself. That's the price to pay. You have to learn how to grow it, what's the best way to grow it. You learn how to harvest it. There's a price to pay. Maybe there was not enough rain. Maybe there, as many farmers know, farmers know there's a price to pay always. If you want to start growing delicata squash, because you love delicata squash, you can't just say, delicata squash, appear, and boom, it appears. There's a price to pay for it, either monetarily, or you have to grow it yourself, and all of the conditions that I mentioned before, not enough rain, too much rain, there was a flood. It's so many things that could happen before you get a delicata squash. That's the price to pay. And if you have now discovered finger limes, also called vegan caviar, and you really, really want them, they're very expensive. There's a very expensive price to pay. So for everything in life, there's a price to pay. And so I'd like you to be mindful today of what you're doing, what you're wishing for, hoping for externally, what you're looking for externally, and ask yourself, am I willing to pay the price that's involved in getting this? Am I willing to do and to suffer the consequences, to do what I need to do and suffer the consequences of achieving this or getting this? And this is what I'm talking about, that there's a price to pay. So think about every action you take, and even every thought that you decide to take to its completion, because there's a price to pay. So please write down in the comments below the price that you've paid for things on the external that you've wanted, desired, achieved, and what you are willing to pay now. I'd love to hear from you. Please click the subscribe button and the notification button for more, and let me know what prices you've paid or that you're willing to pay for what you want externally, on the outside of yourself. The beauty about this is that when you go internally, there's no price to pay. Now you might say, yes, there's a price to pay. I have to find time to sit in quiet. I have to meditate. I cannot rush about with being anxiety ridden anymore, because when you go internally, there's no anxiety. You might be addicted to anxiety. You might be addicted to noise. You might be addicted to distractions. That's the price you pay for not going internally. So everything, there's a price to pay. So I'd like to really have this conversation with you, and that's why I'm asking you to write below in the comments what's the price you've paid, prices you've paid, and price you're willing to pay. So just be mindful. Live with awareness. That's the purpose of these elegantly raw tidbits. Join me here, won't you? And share this out to others as well, so we can all join in the conversation together. Until next time.